So, being black in the workplace, that is our topic, our second topic for the day. Some statistics I found are that 65% of black people and 45% of Asian people have experienced or witnessed racism in the workplace, and only a quarter of those who had that experience reported it or took some action. And the most popular reason for this was fear of the consequences. So, have you experienced racism in the workplace?
I have specifically. I have experienced some racist abuse. Someone tried to touch me in a certain way, but obviously as a black lady myself, I've been told that when you, growing up anyway, when you get touched, hit them back. Like, you know, if someone hits you, hit them back.
Yeah.
But for me, my action was different probably to another black person that it was. You know what I'm saying? If it was someone else, it would probably be different to the way I reacted. That did cost me my job, but at the end of the day, I wasn't gonna drop out. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it does happen. It really does happen. What about you, Frank?
I'm thinking about it, but I don't think I really experienced it like in that kind of way. Maybe it's just like jokes or whatever, but not really like noticeable for me. It's more the subliminal things, and you're like, yeah, whatever. You know, like, I'm gonna get you after now. Show me things. But more like, yeah, like that.
So what are some of the examples of the subliminal things? Like, I was thinking about this morning, and I was thinking about things like when people come up and start trying to talk to you like a road man.
Oh, yeah.
Or like a Jamaican.
Oh, yeah.
And then I think, I've been working here for like a few years now. Have I ever spoken to you in that way? Like, you ever heard me speak like that?
Right.
Why are you coming up to me saying wagwan and things like that?
And they're not even saying it correct.
And it's just all off key. Put things in the wrong context. Like when people try and say bear, that's another one. But then they say it all in the wrong context, and you're just like, no, that's not how it goes. But you know, thanks for trying, but no.
I get it. Yeah, I believe it as well.
Another one I have is when people come up and try and firms me. Instead of just giving you a handshake or even a high five,
right,
you're going to come and firms me. Like, firstly, men and women don't really firms each other anyway. Like, men don't firms women, women don't firms each other, so you completely missed the whole...
Like, is firms like this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Frenky's from the Netherlands. What do you call it there?
Books.
Books. So do men and women book?
No, we don't do that. No, especially like black men, they don't do it. Like,
yeah, they don't.
Even if I do it like as a joke, like
they won't return it. They leave you hanging.
Yeah,
they will leave you hanging. So so why are they coming up and trying to firm you and stuff? It's strange.
I think they're saying like on a level when you're really far from that level.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Just be yourself. Like, we can still get along and have common interests and goals where I'm being me and you're being you. Like, you don't have to merge. Or when someone wants to tell you every time they've had jerk chicken or been to the Caribbean.
Oh my God.
Yeah, even if it's the person in the office that you don't really ever speak to, but then the one day that they had a jerk chicken, they got to come and tell you about, I had jerk chicken last night, like, yeah.
Or if they made it themselves, or their neighbors, like, you know, from some like country, like from Africa or whatever, you're gonna hear it. You're gonna hear like, yeah, my neighbor, like, or like, my neighbor's friend that lives there across the street, like next to.
James, are you ready? You got the jet rice.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Let's not bring jerk rice into this.
I saw it on Facebook. I was like, oh my God, why would you do that? But also like in workplaces, because for me, the way I speak like in Dutch, I sound like a white person like when I speak.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, when they see me or whatever, like, oh, you talk so well for like a dark person, or you speak so white and all of that. I'm like, shut up.
Yeah.
I can go 0 to 100 if you want to. but that's not our topic.
Yeah, I don't think anyone, well not anyone, I don't think some people realise how much you have to go through as a black person in the workplace in terms of tailoring who you are and acting in an acceptable way and speaking in a different way. Like there's a lot of effort that goes into putting on your work persona every day when you leave the house and then you take it off when you leave.
Right.
Like I realised it a lot when my cousin Sanchez rang me one time when I was at work, and it's like I just switched into like how I would normally talk to him, and it was just people around me were just like, okay. And it was bizarre. It's like I forgot where I was for a second, and my work persona slipped, and people were kind of like, oh.
They saw the real you.
Yeah.
I understand it in the work of, in the way of respecting other people, but then why would you have to change yourself just to be able to, you know, change yourself in a way where you're not really you then?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Around other people, you should still be able to be you, but be respectful with it.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So yeah.
But see, it's hard to, even with things like your hair. Like they recently passed a law in New York making it illegal to discriminate against someone because of their hair. So, and this is just for 2019 now, and we're having to have a law made. And we could do with that law because even school kids, there's loads of kids that can't go to school with a trim, like short back and sides. They can't, they're getting excluded and things because they got a regular black person shape up. Or if you've got braids, or if you've got dreadlocks, like you can't even aesthetically be yourself.
They worry too much about these little things, but then they're not teaching the kids what they need to be teaching the kids.
Yeah, the more important thing.
Yeah, the more important things. So, I don't know. Again, it's just part of that society, isn't it?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's part of
It's a lot of
society.
pressure on
Yeah, a lot
society.
of pressure.
Because when I have a bad hair day, because I'm just lazy when I wear my braids, but like normally I have like an afro puff. And when I have like a bad hair day, I be like, shit, what am I gonna do with my hair? But just because I know like if I come up at work and it's like, even if it's like, it's just for us, it could be like, you know, it looks good or whatever.
Yeah.
But for them, it will be like, oh, it's like you didn't comb
do it
it, or
today.
you didn't do it,
It's
or
wild.
whatever. Like, or they want to touch it. Like every time I took my braids out, they want to like,
Put their hands
Yeah.
you see, like all. And when I put a hair wrap, and oh, you shave your head, like.
I think they don't accept. I don't think they accept us to a certain extent or appreciate us
No.
to that extent. They don't want to understand us, so they don't understand when we do certain things why we do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a shame. Like how we're meant to change that, like I said, how we're meant to change it in this society when that's the way they want it to be. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they have that power amongst us. It's a bit of a shame.
It is.
It's a shame.
I think it will take more people speaking out and kind of making a fuss in their workplace, because I think we as black people have a tendency to just kind of not want to rock the boat, and you just kind of go along with things, whereas if this happened to people of other races, they would make a thing of it, like it would be a thing, there'd be a protest, there'd be a petition, like they'd be on the news, they'd be in the paper, like it would be everywhere. Whereas we just kind of, you don't want the exposure, you don't want to put yourself out there, you don't want to be the face of Afro hair for the UK, like you just want to be able to go to work and do your thing.
But I feel like when you do that, you're labeled as a female, like as an angry black woman. Even if you're like, because now I'm speaking like this, but if I like talk a little bit louder, then oh, she angry, like you know what I mean. So and I'm tall, I'm big, so at my workplace, I always like keep calm and whatever, but because I know like when I'm gonna stand up and I only like do this, they be like, oh, she threatened me or whatever.
Yeah.
But maybe I just said, could you move a little bit, and they be like, no, she threatened me, like the
Yeah.
whole thing. So I feel like black people don't want to do that just because of the label they getting after. I feel like maybe like white people or Caucasian people, if they like maybe spoke a little bit more about it and really see about like, okay, so they were like really struggling with things and whatever, that that will have like more impact than if we do it, because
Yeah.
if we do it, we're gonna get labeled as something else.
Yeah.
But
so
then why should we care? Why should we care what other people think about us when this is us?
Yeah.
If we
Because-
put together, I believe we could make something out of it.
I think you kind of have to, you're forced to care, because whether we like it or not, for most of us, we probably spend more time at work than we do at home with our families. Like during the week, most of us are, for those core hours, you're either at work or you're sleeping. So when you're surrounded by it and you have to deal with it like day in and day out, like it just starts to grind you down. So it's like, do you just keep putting up with it, or do you stand up and say, right, I've had enough of this now? Because it's kind of damaging to your mental health in the long run. And I think a lot of the times, like you were saying, your actions are perceived as aggressive or having an attitude, whereas for someone else it would just be called having an opinion.
Yeah.
You're just outspoken, you have an opinion, or you're passionate. You're passionate about what you do.
Right.
But then when you're black, it's like you're angry, you're aggressive, you're like overbearing.
Yep.
But you're just saying and doing the exact same things that other people are doing, but you automatically just get that label. And I know, Santa, you probably got something to say about that, like as a black man, it's probably worse for you than it is, well, it probably can be.
So, just to what you were just saying about the whole attitude and being aggressive, and like say, you can't, working like, being a black man, black person in the workplace, like you show passion or just that, management will instantly look at you as, okay, you're being aggressive or attitude, and that's their number one line to use.
Yeah.
It's straight away, and you're just thinking, I'm just putting a bit of passion across about what I'm talking about,
Right.
but they always perceive it as it's attitude or aggression, especially being a black man and say I've got superiors who are female of a different race. They'll look at me and think, he's the big scary black guy, just because I've slightly raised my voice because I'm being passionate about something, or I've felt I've been treated away in the workplace.
Right.
It's an instant they look at me as, okay, you're being a big black man, you're being aggressive, stop, and like, and you're like, well, I'm not even doing anything, or, and then you'll see other workers talk to them in such a way, and they won't say do about it, and it's like, well, what's the difference, because I'm a black man and they're not, so me saying it means it's perceived in a whole different way, like, why should it have to be that way, especially in this day and age?
Yeah.
And like where I work in like, you could call it the suburbs of Birmingham,
Right.
so obviously I'm one of few in my workplace, and like the way I feel I'm treated compared to everyone else, it's a whole different ball game. And again, you can come out and speak about it and say things, but they won't take you seriously. And then they say, oh, go down the proper channels, go through the proper routes. But even when you do that, at the end of that tunnel, there's still the same kind of people looking at you in the same kind of way.
Right.
So it's like, well, who am I meant to turn to? Kind of thing, you know what I mean? And like, it's demotivating, especially in the workplace, especially if you feel like you're working for a company and you're giving them your all, but they still look at you like dirt on their shoe.
Right.
And it's like, again, just because of the colour of your skin. And they won't outright turn around and say that to you, because they can't, but you know in yourself, just how they talk to you, how they perceive you, slight little comments they make, slight little digs, you know where they're coming from, you know what they're trying to say without outright saying it, because they know they can't outright say it, but you know yourself what it is. And then for you to motivate yourself to go to that job every day, it is what it is. But then it's like to move to another job, you'll face the same issues, depending on who your management is. And again, it shouldn't be a race thing, but it does come down to a race thing a lot of the time. And like, it's not right, and it is what it is. And like I say, it's demotivating. And it's like, well, how do you meant to get past that? And it's not on you, because you're just being yourself. And it's like you were saying earlier, you go to work, and like, we have to put on a persona. A lot of people, they don't have to put on a persona. They go to work how they are at home, at work, exactly the same. We go to work and it's like, all right, sharpen up, put on a posh voice, no slang, no nothing, no this, and you got to act prim and proper for the whole day, however many hours, even if someone's grinding you and you just want to cost them out, right? You know that you got to hold your mouth, innit? You know you got to hold your mouth. As much as you want to cost them, even if you didn't cost them that bad, just the slightest little things you say, they'll blow up. They'll be blown up because it's come from you. As someone else can say a hell of a lot worse, and it's like, and yeah, it's a tricky thing. It's tricky, like I say, being a black person or any race really, other than Caucasian in the workplace, It's hard, but you have to take it as it is. We all have to go to work. The only way out of it I see is build your own businesses, black-owned businesses, black-owned companies.
Yeah, but still you.
But that's not to say that. But then I'm about to say that. I'm about to say.
Who's gonna believe in that because you know?
Exactly. So it's tricky. It's very tricky. But I feel what you'll notice is you're not alone in this problem. Like a lot of us face the same problem. A lot of us get up and go to work and face that same issue. And it's like a lot of the time you have to block it out, don't you? You go to work a lot of the time, you block it out. Like I know, there's probably not a day that goes by that I go to work and there's not a black joke made.
Really?
Yeah, like there's not a black joke made. But then there's people where you know they're just doing it to kind of ease the tension for themselves, not for you, because you know you don't need a black joke to be made for you to feel relaxed, but it's like it relaxes them. And then there's obviously other people you know who do it and it's malicious, but because they're doing it as a joking way. You turn around and gone to management, oh, such made this joke about me. They're going to be like, oh, it's just a joke, take it lightly, it's not meant like that. Yeah. It's not, you're just being, you know, why are you getting an attitude about it? Why are you taking it that way, turning it into a bigger problem? And it's like, because you don't know how it affects, and it's like, you can't ever understand unless you live it. You'll never understand what it is, just on a day-to-day.
That's very true. And yeah, I can understand your frustrations, especially as a man, because you must get the angry and aggressive, especially when you're tall and you're big. Like, people become afraid of you, even if you're like the least likely person to start an altercation. People would just be, yeah, it's mad. And we've all experienced these things. I remember, I've had loads of subtle things, but there's a few incidents that I can really remember. And there was one when I was about 18. And I can laugh about it now, but at the time I was mortified and I did not know what to say.
Yeah.
I was working in this pub in town and this customer came up to me and said, if you had white hair, you would look like a Guinness.
Oh, wow.
I'm serious, like I'm actually serious. And I did not know what to say. Because you know you get caught in the middle of, I really want to start cussing, but I kind of need this job, but this is taking the mick. Yeah. So then you're just conflicted inside, like, what am I supposed to do? And you know one of them ones where you feel like if you say something and then the person's response isn't what you want it to be, then it's going to end up, things are going to end up going to a level where you don't know if you're going to be able to come back from it.
Right.
So it was just kind of a case of walking away from the situation, but I've never forgotten that. Like, it is just stuck in my mind because it was so rank and out of order.
Do you guys remember that one when they put the t-shirt in H&M and they made the black guy,
The
monkey?
Yeah.
They're throwing it in all different angles and we're not even picking up on these things or acting. We could have done so much more about that.
Yeah.
We could have stood together and be like, you know what, forget it. This is what you've got been doing for how long. We're not going to accept that because they're get him out, or do you know what I mean? But sticky. It's sticky.
Right, that conversation, I feel like we've still got more room in it, but we've got to